We are in a flux. If you have not gathered that, just stay tuned. If we don't figure this out, how we've done business in the past is not going to work. How we recruited, how we kept people, everything is radically changing. And the first thing I want to know is when someone hires me is, are you coachable? Are you coachable? And how do you know if someone is coachable? This is how you know. Number one, they have a willingness to learn. The fact that you are here shows me that you might be coachable. You are in the room. Willingness to learn. Number two, if you have a willingness to change. That's not so easy. And what happens many times is, we share statistics, and in the back of your mind, you might have the inner critic that's saying, I already know that. Yes, I know that. How many of you, when I said 70% of employees, and you were like, yeah, I know that, I've read that. I know you know that. What I'm going to invite you to do is release what you know. Just for a moment, you can pick it back up. What I'm going to invite you to do is challenge, do you really know it? Let me give you a real world example. So for the past, I want to say 2 years, I've been wanting to release 5 pounds back into the universe. I don't know whose 5 pounds that is. I don't know where it came from, but I want to give it back. And this is what I know, and you probably know too, what's required to release or lose weight. Shout it out, what's required? Exercise, I heard, and diet. You mean I gotta move more and eat the right things? I know that. I know it, but guess what? I love Twinkies. I love Twinkies. As a matter of fact, when Hostess went out of business, I was like, how is it possible that Hostess is out of business? And then they came back, the sweetest comeback ever. So yes, we know a lot of things. What I will challenge you, are you actually using it? How do you know if you know it? If you're using it day in and day out. If you're actually applying it.
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the session. I've been to several conferences, several seminars, and the information that you presented was relatable. I understood it. It was funny, engaging, and entertaining, and I definitely learned some topics that I can take back and implement into my company.
Like walking through the aisles, and I go through the beauty aisle, and I hear these 2 employees complaining. Oh, that flow team, they can't never stock up anything right. I was like, ooh, okay, they got an attitude. So I keep going. And I'm over by the food. And it's like, oh, yeah. They're complaining. I said, okay, they're not happy either. So I keep going. Now I'm by where the fitting room is. And the girls are putting the clothes together. And the one girl's looking at her watch, 5 minutes. I'm out of here, sucker. And I'm thinking, I got to get out of here, right? I got to get out of here. Because this is one life lesson that I've learned is that your environment trumps your willpower. You might want to write that down. Your environment trumps your willpower. 75% of the workforce are going to be the millennials. No! I do another talk about how to deal with millennials. A lot of companies are struggling. I have 2, actually, a 29-year-old and a 20-year-old. Yeah, they're different. They are different. They are amazing, and they can be engaged. People want to call them the entitlement generation. Yeah, I think we all have a little bit of that, entitlement. But they are quick. When I grew up, I'm originally from Detroit. I live in San Diego now. And I had 2 parents who were factory workers, and they taught me that you go work for a company for 30 years, and if you're lucky, you get that gold watch. That's not the time we live in. My son, Christopher, he just entered his 3rd year of college up in Cal State University, Monterey Bay. And he came home for the summer, and I said, babe, you got to get a job. J-O-B. You are not going to be here this summer not working. So he went and applied for Legoland. He was all super excited. Went and did the drug test. I was all like, you're going to pass, right? He's like, yeah, I know, come on. I'm like, he up in college. I know I taught you right, but I'm like, okay. So he was like, I don't have no problem taking no drug test. So he went and he took the test and everything, and he heard that he was going to get the answer back within the end of business day. So they said, we'll let you know if you got the job. We'll call you and let you know. So we're walking through Costco, and I said, hey, babe, did you hear? Did you hear back from Legoland? He was like, no. I said, what time? He's like, they told me in a business day. It's now 5:01. I said, well, you might want to email or call. I'm moving on, Mom. Next. He's on this whole tangent. You know what? I might be expendable, but they're replaceable. I'm like, okay, wait. You have not had a job. You need to get a job. I would recommend that you call. And he's just like really stubborn about it. We get in the car, and he's looking at his cell phone. He's like, they just sent me an email. Congratulations, Christopher. Welcome to Legoland. This is what you got to look forward to. They're coming. 3/4 of it. So what are you doing regarding that?
The presenter was very good, and most important, I went back to the basics. She talked a lot about Good to Great, which is one of my favorite books, and I really enjoyed it, and hope to see her here next year.
The person that you want to be. I want to lose that 5 pounds. I need someone to hold me accountable. They need to say, don't get the Hostess. Don't eat it. How are you holding your people accountable? What else do they want from their leaders? They want empowerment and respect. We talked about micromanagement. Let me do my job. You hired me to do it. And they also want respect. What we know is that if an employee does not respect the person that is in charge, there's a loss of 80% in productivity. That's right, 80% when I don't respect you. Vulnerability. And a lot of times that's hard as a leader to be vulnerable. Because people see vulnerability as a sign of weakness, where it's actually the opposite. It's a sign of strength. And when I'm vulnerable and I show up saying I don't have all the answers and that's why I need you, it just opens up a different dialogue for engagement to begin. This is what I know, is that engagement without accountability is entitlement. We started the conversation and we will end the conversation the same. Information without implementation is just what? I hope you had a great time. My hope is that you decide to do one thing and take action.